So wrestling is both physically and mentally demanding. How do you guys prepare mentally to stay focused during a match?
I think it's just like the mental state that you just have to like start breathing and like controlling and just like thinking like you don't want to go down, like you don't want to lose to someone. So you kind of just have that mindset of just not gonna get on your back and like not get pinned and just mindset of just winning. So.
I'd say I just listen to music, jump around because the nerves are like really high and scary.
Honestly, it's just all about like, like breathing, like Teague said, knowing yourself, focusing on not getting pinned, going over all the stuff that you've already learned, stuff like that.
And do you guys like have any thoughts that like go through your mind while you're like wrestling specifically?
Just to not get pinned. Like that's the one thing that's like worst case scenario. They pin you in like 15 seconds and everything, or just getting pinned, it sucks because you're just stuck there.
There's a lot that goes through my brain. It's like once you get in like a position that like you're stuck in, you have to just think back at like all the like skills that you've learned and like everything from the past like wrestling matches that you've gone through. Like you've been able to wrestle like the same people several times. So just thinking of what happened the last match from the other time you wrestled them to just try to pin them and beat them. So.
Yeah, I think a lot when I'm wrestling about like, the shots and like moves that have gone over and like making sure that if I'm going to do something, they're in that position or making sure I'm not in that position. So that's, mainly what it is,
All right. And my last question is, what are the team's goals for this season, both collectively and individually?
I'd say our team goal for the girls team is to provide a better team because last year we didn't have as much teamwork, and to collaborate more, understand each other more because we're going to tournaments early in the morning and we're going to be there all day.
To go to state, basically. Yeah.
I know individually I want to go to state again, but I want to take these girls with me because I think it's more of like a family in wrestling. So whenever we can come together and just go to state together is a really big goal for me. And being able to grow as a wrestling girls team as well. There's only only four girls, and then like a couple add-ons. But we would love to have others joining our teams and like being able to see and know what we go through. So.
If you had any one piece of advice for people thinking of joining or doing wrestling, what would you give them?
Just do it. Like, everyone's always so scared. They're like, I'm scared I can't do it. I'm scared I'm going to get hurt. Just do it. If you get hurt, you recover, and then you just think about that. Like, do it. I mean, if you realize it's not for you, then it's not for you. But, like, with us, we realized that we really liked it, and there's a lot of things that come with being on the team and being a wrestler in general. Just do it. You'll learn.
I'd say if you're ever thinking about joining wrestling, I'd say clear up your schedule because it's very time consuming for 3 months. You're at a tournament every weekend. Our coach is very understanding with it, but it is very time consuming and pretty hard.
Okay, I feel like it would be hard, like, not to lose your temper. So when it comes to, like, trying to control your temper, what do you do?
Temper, yeah, it's a really big thing, but I feel like on both sides, it's like you both are mad, and like you kind of just have to calm yourself down so that just to let the other person, because there is like disqualification and text that you get from having that, outbreak. But I know from, not by experience, but my brother had really big outbreaks, but he just like had to step out. Like you could have timeouts. So just have a timeout, step to the side for a little bit, calm yourself, and then get back to what you were doing, like just keep fighting. And it's just wrestling. If you lose, you lose. We all have that moment. And wrestling's always like, one day you'll lose and one day you'll win. It's just, anything happens in a day. So,
What's your biggest obstacle and achievement in wrestling?
what do you mean by obstacle?
Something that you found stressful in your training or your matches or something like that.
Just trying to stay mentally healthy, to be honest. Like, especially if you have like a losing streak or like a specifically like hard tournament, just try not to beat yourself up about it. It's so hard because you're just thinking like, oh my God, I lost. Oh my God, that's on me. Regardless of if it's a team sport, it's really hard not to like blame yourself for losing. And so yeah, just like my biggest obstacle is just trying to remain calm and respect myself.
I'd say like a really big obstacle is, like you said, when you're losing, it really sucks and it's mentally rough. But I would say another huge obstacle is also accepting that you lost and looking for the future on what you could have done better and look at your past mistakes, because it is really rough realizing what you messed up on and what you could have done better.
I know a bunch of obstacles. Like Breezy had a little ups and downs of being able, like getting hurt. A lot of people come into wrestling like, oh, I'm just gonna get hurt. I'm gonna be out for like seasons and seasons. But you can come right back from it, just like Breezy did, and it's not as terrible as you think it would be. You're not like breaking each other, hopefully. But a big achievement that I have was going to state twice, freshman and sophomore year. So would like to do that junior year as well.
What are some things that y'all do to create like good team bonding?
I would say we get a lot of team bonding from waking up at 6 a.m. and going to a bus to go to a tournament all day. So we're just like sitting in the stands next to each other, all scared and everything and all nervous. And it creates like a bonding experience from that, because we're all feeling the same emotions and we all have like the same experience at the same time.
It comes a lot from practices as well. Like whenever I started, I came to practice and it was just like felt welcome. I feel like wrestling, we have just a big gym with mats, so you're kind of just in there with each other, running and like just practicing with each other. And I feel like you kind of have to have a connection or like a relationship with the others and be like family, because you're wrestling each other and like you want to take care of them and be able to build any type of relationship with each other. So.